Hello guys, in this video I'll cover everything you need to know about British Western. So you can jump in and instantly know what you're doing. I'll start with what you do the second you spawn in. Then, we'll move on to town vendors, horses, the updated card system, how to obtain a stand, grinding routes, the fully updated stand roster, trading, specialities, and races. If I miss anything, drop it in the comment section down below. Now, let's get into it. I wanted to know that I've added timestamps to the progress bar, so you can easily skip ahead to any section you're interested in. When you first load in, you now have to pick a faction, outlaw or in-law. Think of these two like police or sheriffs and criminals. Like let's say in-laws will be the sheriffs and outlaws will be the criminals. So this choice doesn't really matter, mechanically speaking, but I must say there's a few differences in between them, which I'm gonna be explaining now. So if you're an outlaw, you can spawn on populated criminal bases, like the outlaw camps, and you can also rob people and locations. But if you're an outlaw, you must keep in mind, if you get killed by an in-law while they have a bounty on you, this will remove half of your bounty. Okay, so if you get arrested by an in-law, you will be put in jail for 60 seconds, right? And the thing about this is, you'll get your guns and tools removed from your inventory. However, this will remove your entire bounty. Your tools and guns can be bought back from the jailer after the 60 seconds pass. In the case you choose in-law, this will allow you to spawn at the populated places of the map. This will also allow you to take bounties and arrest outlaws. If you're playing as an in-law, keep an eye on the bounty board at the Reach B train station. Any outlaw with a bounty over 100 will show up there, and that's where you'll find your next paycheck. Now, there are two ways to handle these guys. You can either just kill them for a quick payout of mule and a chest, but if you really want to optimize your time, use your lasso. If you manage to catch an outlaw with your lasso and deliver them to the jailer in Reach B County, you'll walk away with double the bounty money. Plus, you get more chances of getting an arrow shard. And trust me, you're going to want as many of those as you can get, because that's exactly how you'll unlock your stand, which I'll break down in just a bit. Any bounty can drop an arrow shard, but it is speculated that the higher the bounty, the higher the odds. In my personal case, I chose outlaw because it's easier to grind money or EXP, plus you get more variety of spawns. However, you can change that if you think you made the wrong choice and talk to this NPC right here, which will give you the chance to switch between outlaws or in-laws, plus wiping off your reputation, which will remove your bounty as an in-law. Before we dive in, you'll need to know the keybinds, which I'll have displayed on the screen for you. Wherever you spawn, the first thing you're gonna do is find the train tracks. Once you see them, get close and call for your horse using the H key. Following the train tracks will always lead you to Reach B County and the fishing hut. Inside the hut near the bridge, buy a fishing rod and a bait. Fishing is still the safest and most reliable early game money method. Once you start fishing, you will trigger quick time skill checks. Successfully pulling up a chest can give you fish, dogpin herbs, parts for the rusty mare's leg, or arrow shards, which have about a 0.5% drop rate. Press M at any time to track your XP, tier level, and age. I'll talk about how to use these items later on. Once you've caught enough fish, sell them at the hut and head into town to gear up. Debunk. This is crucial because there is a max equip limit. You want to store your spare weapons here. the tailor and barber. Change your clothes, hair, and roll for random accessories. General store. I highly recommend buying the cowboy hat. It absorbs 1 free headshot before taking damage, and the poncho. Reduces torso damage and increases the defense. Gun store. The Winchester rifle and Whitney Dragon are still your best early game picks for high damage and accuracy. Now let's talk about horses. There are 2 horse stables across the map, one in Rich B County and one in the Outlaw Hideout. Once you've grinded enough money, go buy a horse by talking to one of the 2 NPCs. I recommend grinding about 5,000 moolah. Usually, any horse above 1,000 moolah is alright. However, there are a few things you must know when buying or riding a horse. Horse come in 3 rarities. Common horses, 99.92%. Run of the mill, no special attributes. Legendary horses, 0.07%. One of the horse's stats can go above the 1.25 cap up to 140. Mythical horses, 0.01%. 2 of the horse's stats can go above the 1.25 cap up to 140. Legendary and mythical horses receive the similar randomized stats as normal horses depending on their pricing, meaning if they are a low price often they will be worse than a common horse that costs more. When buying a horse, legendary and mythical horses will not be able to get skipped for the 20 moolah. Instead, you must region if you want to skip them. It will be indicated that you have rolled a special horse by the horse's name, being in all caps while also being in the corresponding brackets. Horses have 3 discrete speeds: walking, sprinting, and out of stamina speed. If your horse runs out of stamina, it will move at half of its normal walking speed. To perform a bash, the player must press F, which at walking speed will make the horse swing its head, knocking over players briefly and damaging them lightly. If performed while sprinting, the horse will use its full body to bash, which will consume all of its stamina in exchange for getting increased damage as well as ragdolling for longer. If a horse is hit while sprinting, the rider will have to do a QTE. If succeeded, they will be immune to backing for the next 5 to 10 seconds. If they fail this QTE, they will back, having their horse come to a standstill while knocking them off, which applies an extended ragdoll. I also want to mention there's one take horses wise. If while you're sprinting you go into the water with your horse and hold space, you will be able to cross rivers and lakes in an optimal and fast way. The Witch and the card system. Depending on your tier, you will unlock up to 3 card slots. Once you have them, head out to the swamp to find the Witch's Head, which can be found looking at this map or following this path departing from Reed B County. The Witch will read your fortune. Your first card is free, and the rest costs 50 moolah. While classics like Desperado remain top tier choices for their damage boosting capabilities, the current meta has shifted heavily toward high impact passive and survival cards. For a truly dominant build, prioritize Time Heals All Wounds and Tonic Master for the significant healing boost and increased inventory capacity. If you prefer a highly mobile playstyle, Far Runner is essential for the added stamina and combat slide, while Hyperventilator is widely considered one of the best cards in the game for keeping your stamina constantly replenished during intense fights. Okay, remember how I said earlier I'll talk about the items obtained by fishing? So the moment has arrived. Dogbean herbs can be used at the Witch's Hat. It can be used to reverse your age 20 years, sell the herb for 2,500 moolah, reset your sun or your specialty, such as the spin, corpse parts and unlocking sands. To get a stand, you need arrow shards from fishing or vaults. You can also obtain stands from corpse parts. Corpse parts are public server events. They only spawn if at least 3 players are online, dropping roughly every 30 seconds with a 1 in 150 to 1 in 40 chance. When one spawns, you'll hear a loud sound and see a glowing yellow beam of light in the sky. If you pick it up, it doesn't give you a stun instantly. You have to hold it while it merges with you. And during this time, your character emits a glowing yellow aura that other players can see. If you die or get ragdolled, you drop it. As I said earlier, you can also get the arrow shards by simply fishing, if you don't want to risk it by waiting for corpse parts to spawn. The thing about fishing is the fact that arrow shards have a 0.5% drop rate. That's why I'm here to bring you guys the method that worked the best for me in order to get arrow shards when I was new. As you fish an open chest, you'll know this chest gives you dynamite. This dynamite can be used to harm players, but it also has one more use. Earlier, I said arrow shards can be also obtained from vaults. These vaults can be opened with dynamite. If you think you don't have enough dynamite, you can buy more from this NPC located in the Outlaw hideout. Now the method. Basically, I'll be guiding you guys through the best route to grind vaults and get arrow shards easily. So first, you'll want to go to Richby County. In Richby County, there's a total of 4 vaults which can be opened in an optimal way. Following my route will keep you opening vaults constantly. Once you're in Richby County, start from the building in front of the barber. Then move to the hotel. The next vault is located at the post office and the last one is at the general store. You can follow my order or whichever you prefer. I personally use my order since I feel like it keeps me opening vaults constantly. D4C Obtainment. D4C is widely considered the hardest stand to obtain, and the process is very intense. First, you need at least 100 overall kills, just to be able to merge. Next, you have to spawn a special item called the Saint Sword, by tossing specific items into the pit at Suntown. 10 golden bass, 5 dog beans, 3 rocas, 1 arrow shard and 1 other item. Once that pit is full, the very next corpse part to spawn on the map changes into the Saint Sword. To actually get D4C, you must merge with the heart while holding an active 15 player kill streak, which gives you a 16% chance to unlock it. If you don't have that streak, you can still merge, but you won't get a shot at D4C at all. Once you finally pull a stun, the perks are crazy. You can merge with each of the corpse parts once, and switching with your clones will constantly edge your character down, letting you reach H0 if you swap enough. Updated stun roster. Now that you know how to get the rarest stun in the game, let's break down the fully updated stun roster. Right now, stuns are split into 4 main tiers, plus a few special categories. First up are the common stuns, which you will pull very often from arrow shards and corpse shards. This pool features 15 stuns in total, including fan favorites like Purple Haze, Golden Experience, Killer Queen, Crazy Diamond and Stone Free. If you get a bit luckier, you'll hit a rare stun. This tier has gotten some great updates, featuring heavy hitters like King Crimson, Star Plum, The Wall, and The Wall Alternative Universe, alongside newer additions like Cream and The Fool. Next we have unique stuns. These can be pulled normally and require those specific methods we talked about earlier. This tier includes D4C, Ball Breaker, Tusk, and All Lonesome Me. If you want to take your power a step further, you have the Evolved tier, where you can currently unlock Star Plum the Wall. Just keep in mind that Golden Experience Requiem is still listed as unobtainable right now, joining none in the ungettable category. And finally, looking toward the future, the devs have confirmed that White Album, The Emperor and Sea Moon are actively in the works, so keep an eye out for them in upcoming updates. Trading. To trade you need Roca Cactus, but first you need Roca Caca seeds, which you get by chopping down trees. You can buy a lumber axe by talking to this NPC right here. The seeds have a 2% drop chance from any tree you cut down. To get these seeds, I recommend heading to this location. It is a bit hidden, so people can't easily see you and randomly kill you. Just get between 2 trees, get your lumber axe ready, and turn on your auto-clicker. Don't worry about getting banned. The official Discord server rules explicitly state that auto-clickers are allowed. This way, you can safely go AFK, and hopefully you will have a Rokakaka seed in your inventory when you come back. Once you get your seed, head to the green lamps. If you still don't know where the green lamps are, you can either use the map displayed on your screen or follow this path from the tree farming location. When you're in the greenlands, plant the seed anywhere and a Rokakaka will grow. It takes 30 seconds for the plant to grow. And then another 30 seconds for the Rokakaka fruit to appear. The Rokakaka fruit is used to trade suns, swap cards, and equalize players' ages. Clicking on someone while holding a Rokakaka will make a prompt pop up on their screen, giving them the option to accept or decline the trade. If accepted, you will both perform an animation before swapping suns, 1 or 2 cards, and equalizing your ages. If they decline, the trade will go on a short cooldown to prevent spamming. Also, whenever you use a rocket, there is a 1% chance that a base stun will become shiny. Next up, let's talk about specialties and races. As of right now, we have 2 main specialties in the game. Spin and its variation, Wrecking Balls. Because unlocking Spin takes a really long time and deserves its own video, I'm just going to give you a quick checklist of the requirements. First, you need to talk to Gyro, who's guaranteed to spawn at least once every hour in a random spot on the map. All of his spawn locations are displayed on the map on your screen right now. To get Gyro to teach you, you must meet these exact requirements. Interact with the Spin energy. Be age 40 or younger. Have at least 125 overall kills. Be tier 3. Have a kill streak record of at least 15 players. Have task or 16 wins in the Red Corner Fight Club. Kill the Truman NPC, also known as the Doulas. He has a 5% chance to replace any map event, and a 20% chance to spawn a Ringo's cabin. Pay Gyro 25,000 Mula. Keep in mind that obtaining Spin will completely replace your guns. If you ever want to remove it, you'll need to take a Dogbean to the Mud Witch, but doing this will completely reset your Spin mastery and XP. Spin variation, Wrecking Balls. To get the Wrecking Balls variation, you have to talk to the Wake Up People NPC. He only spawns during the winter season, having a 1 in 100 chance to appear every 90 seconds alongside an orange server-wide message. Once he spawns, he stays for 5 minutes and alternates locations. He sells 2 unique cards, similar to the ones the witch gives you, but these are exclusive to him. He sells the Wrecking Ball card for 2,000 Mula and the Fox Wrecking Ball card for 30,000 Mula. To buy these cards, you must have a Spin fully mastered. The fastest way to level up your Spin is by draining your resource bar using drilling mode while riding a horse, since the horse will quickly regenerate your meter. Table Salt. Next we have Salt, which was added in the latest update. The game's owner mentions it acts more like a tool or a weapon rather than a specialty. It is used specifically to deal with vampires and the undead. To get it, head to the upper left corner of the map in front of the waterfall and talk to the Salt Sensei. He will give you a quest to kill 10 vampires. Once you finish it, he rewards you with the bag of Table Salt. When you use it, The salt coats your targets and ignites on contact with silver burn, causing them to explode when hit with silver. Just know that the bag has limited uses, and you will need to refill it with salt from the general store. Races. Vampirism. Finally, we have Vampirism. Becoming a vampire completely changes how you play the game. You stop being human. No more outlaw or in-law. It's basically a whole different game. So I'll save the full breakdown for another video and just explain how to obtain it as of right now. As a vampire, you can only safely move around in the dark or during the rain, as the daytime sun will burn you if you aren't standing in the shadows. Most shop NPCs will completely refuse to sell to your kind, though you can still talk to the Mud Witch as long as you have the dog vents in your inventory. To turn into a vampire, you need to use a meteor shard at night inside the Blood Dire Arena, located up on the hill near Rich B County. This summons the Elder Vampire boss, Moo Wolf. Once he is defeated, the player who dealt the most damage can interact with him to start a quick time event, QTE. To actually become a vampire, you must fail this QTE. Use a massive warning before you do this. Turning into a vampire will wipe your entire inventory of tools and items, including your arrow shards and dog vents, leaving you with nothing but your throwables and stun discs. And that wraps up the updated guide. If you guys found this guide helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.